what's up and welcome back to my channel. Firstly, I want to thank you for joining me on this video and also throughout my journey, because guys, we've hit 600,000 subscribers. I'm so excited because it is another milestone for me. I hit 500k in Feb. Yeah, in Feb, I believe. I'm so happy that I hit another 100k, and I'm so glad that you guys are liking my content and you're subscribing. So thank you so much for doing that. You guys mean the world to me. You know that. I don't have to tell you that I love you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so happy today because it's another milestone. It just reminds me how blessed I am and how grateful I am to all of you for sticking with me through this journey. You changed my life and you continue to change my life with every comment, every like, every subscriber that comes on my channel is changing my life one step at a time, and you have no idea what you mean to me. So for all of you watching, this message is for you. I love you and your support means everything to me. There's nothing I'd rather want. Like, I love you so much and I'm so happy. So coming back to today's video, I did a get ready with me, something that you and I both enjoy. So it's a pretty long video, but I catch you up on what's happening in my life, where I am with my move and why I'm moving out with Akhil, etc, etc. So that's gonna be fun. I also do this makeup look, okay, to get ready with me clearly, and I use different makeup brands here. I use Lakme, I use Ruby's Organics, then I use Renee. So there are a bunch of new items that I haven't used, so you're gonna enjoy that as well. So without further ado, let's quickly jump into the video. I'm so excited to be sitting and filming. You guys have no idea. Like, I'm very excited to be doing a makeup tutorial because it's been a long time since I did that. So I'm gonna prep my skin first. I'm going to use the Farsali liquid glass as usual. I cannot do without this. Once you get this and you try it, there's nothing else you'll go back to. It preps the skin so well. So I'm gonna get you a little closer first. So I'm just gonna use it all over my face because this is so stunning. So I'm gonna blend that into my skin. You can automatically see the hydration. I'm a dry skin type, so this is great. Okay, so there are a few more primers I want to put before I move on to foundation. I love prepping my skin well enough before I move on, you know that. So I'm gonna try this Color Bar. Actually, I've used this before and I've liked it. It's a hydrating primer. This is the Color Bar Perfect Selfie Primer Oil, and this is the one. I've used very little bit, but let's see, it smells really amazing. So I'm just gonna put 2 drops here. Since it's a primer oil, it's extremely hydrating, and it's not oily as you would imagine a primer oil to be. It's more on the serum side. Yeah, it definitely feels good. I think you could use this instead of the liquid glass. I mean, I'm not comparing the two because they're two very different products and the finishes are different, but this is hydrating, like you can see. Okay, so very quickly I'm going to do the Smashbox pore minimizer around my pores because this is like an essential I really need. So I'm gonna go over this and press it into my skin. Just blur out this portion, and if you have some pores that are visible here, so you want to go over that in patting motions. Okay, so for the rest of my makeup, I am trying some new brands that I have tried before, but it's been a while. So I'm gonna try some of the Ruby's Organics. You guys mentioned that these brands are good. Mars, please try it. So I have a blush, a highlighter, I've got some Lakme lipsticks, liners, I've got a Lakme eyeshadow palette that they recently sent me. So I'm gonna try and incorporate all of this in today's video and see how this works because I want to give other brands a chance. Okay, so for foundation, I'm taking the Maybelline Fit Me, and I think I'm gonna club it with the Smashbox Studio Skin. I think this is the best of both. So what is the update on me life? I have to tell you guys what's up. So it's been around 6 months since I got married. 6 months. That went pretty quickly, but I feel like my entire marriage just was in lockdown. We got married, the lockdown began, and we spent the rest of our months at home. So we haven't traveled together as a married couple. We didn't celebrate. You know the deal. We didn't get a honeymoon, nothing. So I feel like once the world starts opening up properly, we're still pretty afraid to travel. While we're waiting for all the other celebrations to happen, like next year, I want to keep it towards the mid of next year. I feel like I want people to enjoy and travel and celebrate when I'm getting married. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for a better time. But till that is happening, you guys know that I am moving in with Akhil really soon. For all of you following me on Instagram, I keep updating you there, but I'm also vlogging this, so which is really exciting. I'm vlogging the whole process of moving in. Alright, so I'm gonna use the LA Girl Pro Conceal to conceal my dark circles. You know the drill, nothing has changed. Yeah, so where are we in our move? So let me tell you why we're moving and things like that. So if you're not caught up, you will get to it. Okay, so basically we decided we wanted to move out of both of our houses into a separate new house as a married couple and begin our journey. And we've spoken about this for years. I made sure, like, I told everybody in his family and just everyone around us knew that, okay, listen, after we get married, we're moving out and starting our own little family. And when I say family, I don't mean kids, I mean just Akhil and I. And a lot of you were confused as to why do you have to move out, Maz? Like, I get it why you would have questions, because I mean it's something people just do. It's something people have been doing for eons now, and it's like, okay, the girl gets married and she moves into the in-laws house, and that's how it works, right? I feel like my mom specifically always told me, like, it's better to have start your own, get out of your nest and start your own sort of rules and rituals and things like that as husband and wife. And my mom did that with my dad, so I feel like she found comfort there. So my mom definitely did live with her in-laws, my dad's parents, for a while initially, because we were not very well to do and things like that. Those were those times, right? But even then, my mom and dad decided to have a house of their own and start a new family and things like that, which I think helped her a lot in decision making and just lifestyle choices. So I feel like when you move into a house of your own, you have so many more responsibilities and you have to face your own problems, right? You have to deal with stuff your own, like your parents are always going to be around, but they're not at your beck and call. Like if anything happens, like your mom and dad jump in to help you, which I think is amazing. As we Indians, like it's a luxury that people don't get outside the Indian culture, or maybe many cultures around. I'm not sure. I'm comparing it to us because I'm Indian. So I feel like that is amazing, to have family around. 100%. That's not something I'm running away from. But what I have learned from my mom's experience is that she got to run the house in her own way. I feel like she was not disrupting anyone else's house. So my mom and I think like this, okay? So when there's an existing family, like the boy's parents, they have set of cultures, traditions, rules, and the way they live their lives and their own lifestyle, right? So when someone external comes into the house, and no matter how much you love them and you love each other, no denying there's love, there is going to be a clash, because there are a lot of generations you're living with, right? There could be grandparents, they could be his mother, and then you, right? So a lot of generations of coming together, and they collide. And when that happens, there can be a lot of misunderstandings. And more than misunderstandings, I think it's important to leave the nest in general. And I'm not talking for the woman, I'm talking for the man as well, right? So we know that boys are very like pampered, like they're like super pampered, right? And they continue to live in that atmosphere and space that their wife and their mom will take care of them for the rest of their life, which is true. But I guess it'll teach both the husband and wife responsibilities, right? So I think that's a beautiful thing. I feel like getting too comfortable where you're at is not good. For me, the bigger part is also the lifestyle and how you live your life, so it depends on who's running the show, right, of the house. And no matter how much you want to take over, there's always going to be some sort of like differences in how you live your life, because they're two different people coming together under one roof. And that shouldn't be the cause for any inconvenience or any disruption of existing lifestyle. So that's why I wanted to move out. that's my whole reason of moving out, and I feel like it will give them also some space to breathe while your in-laws have also a life of their own. You know, how about they want to take a trip sometimes, they want to live freely without any responsibilities, even though they say they want you around. I feel like somewhere down the line they will start enjoying that space, they will live a little more, they'll travel, because then we are not there now. So Akhil's mom and dad are like the best people ever. Trust me, they're amazing, and this has nothing to do with clashes on anything, because we're not like that. I've known them since over a decade. So we've been super tight. They are my parents. So they've watched me grow and all. So yeah, it's not about anything else but about responsibility and just taking that additional I'm married, I'm ready to adult. You know what I'm saying? Adulting. So yeah, that's what it's all about. Okay, so now I have my concealer down. I've been talking for so long, that's what happens. So I'm gonna use this L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. I'm in the shade Amber. For sponge, I'm using the Drugstore Company sponge. It is so good. It's the perfect amount of softness that I love in a beauty sponge. So if you are capable and if you can afford it, I highly recommend newly wedded couples to find a place of their own and move out. It doesn't have to be a mansion or anything. We're figuring it out, you know. We're moving in. It can be like a nice cute apartment that you guys move into, figure out your own like rent stuff, or buy a house. We can't afford to buy a house but it's awesome. Like starting, you'll deal with your own set of issues. Okay, so while this is baking, I can talk to you guys a little bit, and I'm setting the rest of my face also a little bit. Akhil's parents have been nothing but great about this. They're helping us move. They're doing so much to help us move faster that it blows my mind. And I'm so lucky to have Akhil as a husband also, who was on board. You know, initially he's like, how are we gonna manage, because I don't cook, it's a little difficult and I don't like cooking, but I'm like, hey, we'll get help. How will we clean? Because guys, we've been pampered. Okay, our parents pamper us, you know this, like at least in our culture, our parents like spoil us so much that we don't know how to take responsibility. It's come to that point where we get food on the table. Like my mom just kept my plate here with everything, dahi, achar, mujhe kuch nahi karna padta hai. I don't have to lift a finger in my house. And same thing with Akhil. So we've been so spoiled and pampered, and we're 28 years old. So it's a little bit embarrassing. So I feel like once you get married, like you gotta take some responsibility, and I had to convince him. I had to be like, let's do this, it'll be okay. And it took a while, but when he was on board, and he's like, Maz, let's do this, like let's start looking for a house. So he was on board. So I'm like really lucky to have people who actually support this decision and understood how important it was for us to start our own house and for us to get out of the nest and just live life. It's only a natural thing to do. Think about it, like all the animals as well, when they give birth, they just automatically, the mom teaches the bird how to fly consistently, right? Once the bird flies, they're on their own. So it's one of those things, right? It's only natural to detach from your existing families and start a new family, because I don't see how else you can grow and learn responsibilities. You know, otherwise you'd just be depending on your parents for the rest of your life if you lived in one roof in some way or the other. You know, you'll have kids, then your kids will be taken care of by your in-laws or your parents, depending on where you're living. It's a modern society. The guy can also live with the girl's family. So then the in-laws don't get to have a life of their own. You know what I'm saying. So that's like a million reasons why. Okay, so we started looking for our own apartment. We saw a few houses actually. Even before we got married, we were just like looking for a few apartments, and we liked some, but you know, there were those massive complexes with like 15 buildings in one, and it was just like too many people, and I could get lost there. So I was like, no, I think we need to, you know, continue looking. And apartment hunting is not fun, baby. But at least the apartments in Mumbai are so tiny. I don't know what happened. Whatever happened to spacious apartments? I feel like those old buildings that existed years ago, they're the only buildings that have like massive amount of space. Right now, the buildings that have been constructed are quite disappointing, because I mean, each room is so tiny, you could barely fit a wardrobe, forget like wardrobe and bed. So all the apartments that we looked at had really, really tiny spaces, and trust me, I've done my fair share of house hunting. Like, I have moved house at least 7 to 8 houses in my lifetime in Mumbai. Like, the amount I've lived here, every time I've moved, and I've always stayed in a rented apartment. I don't own any house, like I don't have a house of my own, or neither does my family. So yeah, I know what a rented apartment feels and looks like, and the procedure of like looking for one. So we started that, and we were very clear as to what we wanted. So I definitely wanted a studio in the apartment. Like, I didn't want to make my room, like the master room, a studio, because I didn't want to dismantle the lights and, you know, dismantle my tripod. I just want to come, sit, shoot and leave, and not have to do anything, right? Like an official study, like a study room slash editing room slash studio. So that was very clear in my mind that I wanted this, and I wanted this bad. So, and then the master bedroom. So we wanted like a 2 BHK where we could do both the master bedroom and one be my studio. So the house that Akhil lives in right now, his parents' house is quite massive. And he's a big guy. He's like 6'2", and he likes larger than life things. So for him to move into like tiny apartments and stuff is quite difficult. It's a drastic change. So we're like, okay, how can we meet both the things, as me having a studio and also there being space to move around with it being bright. So yeah, brightness. So a lot of categories to shortlist, right? And in Bombay, to find it in the right price, for it to be bright, for it to have like space, is very difficult to match these criteria. So we just told the broker like, this is what we want, and we were very clear. So we started looking for places, and cutting a long story short, we found this one apartment, which is a brand new building. I completely liked the building. I loved the complex. It was just 4 wings, and it was really spacious, and it matched our vibe. You know, when you enter the house, you feel a vibe and the energy is good. It's all on energy, dude. Like, you feel that energy and positivity. That's what I felt, like both of us felt when we walked into that apartment, right? And yeah, we sort of narrowed it down to that, and we liked it, and we were all set to move in. Okay, we were like, okay, this is the apartment we want, and we're good to go. And we were gonna do this in, say, June. Plans got canned because the lockdown extended. So that happened, and we didn't move in. Alright guys, so for my eyes, I'm gonna take the Lakme Absolute Infinity eyeshadow palette. This is the one right here. I don't know when this launched or what is the scene with this, but this is in the shade Coral Sunset. So these are the colors here, which I think are so pretty, by the way. What is this color scheme? That is so playful. This I will never use. This is the shade I want to start with, and then move to this, and then move to this. Let's see how this palette is. It's the first time I'm going to be using, not first time, I've used Lakme eyeshadows before, but never have been a fan of it. Okay, that's not bad at all. That's a good pigment placement. So there is fallout, like you can see, but I don't have a problem with fallout. This is the one. Okay, that is nice. That is nice. Not being too perfect with the placement of these shadows. I'm just, they do have shimmers, but I don't know, it's very like light. It's very powdery and light. It's not the best quality shimmers. Like, you can tell, look, it completely disappeared. It's like a powder finish, you know. It's very like chalky. You know what, I'm gonna try this shimmer right here. I'm taking this rose gold shimmer. Yeah, it's exactly what I imagined it to be. It's really chalky, and it's not the best quality shimmer. So I'm gonna skip the shimmers in this. I don't want to spoil the look. I'll take the Pastels Lilac from Huda Beauty, and I'm gonna use this color right here. This is a beautiful lilac color, which is just foiled, and it's amazing. It's also really, really good. Alright, so let's continue with the story. We have started the process of moving yesterday itself. 17th or 18th August is when we started the moving in process, and it's been really kind of hectic. I'm so glad to have Akhil, because he's very hands-on. Like, he's been helping me so much with the move. There are some things like I cannot do, okay, like calling different like people, and I don't know Marathi, nor does he, but he speaks really good Hindi, and he's like, मुझे ये time पे चाहिए ये, like he's very firm. And when I talk on the phone and he makes fun of me, I'm just like, अच्छा आप नहीं आ सकते क्या? ठीक है चलेगा, मतलब कल आ जाओ. you know, very like sweet, and Akhil is like, this is not gonna work, you have to like tell them you need the work done. So he's been helping me do that, and it's been just so relieving that he can take care of that, and I am taking care of the designing part, like where I want what to be and ordering the stuff on IKEA. Of course you'll see it in the video, the vlog where I'm gonna do a whole house tour and everything. So I'm really excited, you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with this fiery orange. It's so pretty looking. I don't know if the camera is capturing this, but this is like a fiery reddish orange color, which I think looks very pretty. I hope it turns out to be exactly the way it looks. Oh, it is good. It is good. This is for 995 rupees, like $1,000. I don't know if it's worth $1,000 because I'll tell you, the shimmers are not working for me. Like, these shimmers are not like, I'm not a fan of it. It's not very foiled, right? So I wouldn't pay $1,000 for this palette, because the only shadows I'm using are 1, 2, 3, 4, like all the matte shadows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the only shadows I'm liking, which are the matte colors. So that's a little bit of a problem there. Okay, so before I begin, yes, we did finally ultimately take a 3 BHK. Okay, it's the two of us, but we took a 3 BHK because we wanted a guest room. I feel like you gotta at some point take a step back and be like, okay, what do I want for my life? And that's what Akhil and I both did. I'm not saying you have to earn like a shit ton of money and you need to get out of your parents' house. No, please try and take this from a place of love, because I'm always coming from a place of love to you, because a lot of you are young on my channel, and I want you to know that this was not something that happened to us overnight. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I would not have been able to afford this. Like, I clearly would not have. Seems like I'm so happy I was able to build a life. I was able to design my life in a way that at this point I can do it. Not many people can do it, and I feel like sometimes, you know, you get so stuck in this in the way you're supposed to live and the way society tells you to live, that you don't even want to consider other options. You know, you're like, acha, ye hona chahiye, ye hona chahiye. I'm supposed to move in, I'm supposed to serve my husband and in-laws for the rest of my life, I'm supposed to have a kid, this is just what I'm supposed to do. So this is for all of my girls watching. Like, you can be the architect of your own life. You can design your life the way you want it to be in a few years. Okay, so don't think that just because society is running in a certain way and there are some rules that you gotta stick to, you just, that's how you're supposed to live. You need to take up your own challenges. You need to create your own rules. You need to stand up for yourself and your partner and make these decisions together as a couple. Okay, even if your husband's not on board for moving in because he's too comfortable living at his parents' house and he wants you to take care of his parents for the rest of his life, I feel like it's kind of a selfish move, and you don't have to do anything of that sort. It's awesome to do it, but I feel like there's this constructed life now for every woman, like ye karna, ye karna, ye karna, ye karna. You know, you should know that you have the ability to design your life the way you want it to turn out, and I want you to know that you can do that. And this was not an overnight, like, let's move in, like, it is taking a huge part of our incomes out, and you can do this if your family support is with you. You know, the support of even one person can change your life. The support of your either parents, your brothers, your sisters, your husband, just one person needs to back you up. And if one person in your family backs you up and believes in you, you can do anything. You can do anything if you believe in yourself 100%. But if you have that additional support, it's everything you'll ever need. So don't think you have to live this life just because everyone's living it a certain way. Okay, you don't have to fit into a box just because everyone's doing it. Sometimes you need to break the rules. Sometimes you need to create your own niche, and you gotta pave a new path for you and your partner. And I think it's the best time to talk about these things with your partner right now. You can't drop a bomb on him or his family being like, we'll be moving out tomorrow. Like, you can't do that. You gotta have conversations, have difficult conversations. Like, look, I have a lot of insecurities of my own, you guys. I'm not this perfect. Like, I have everything sorted, my life is amazing. Like, there are a lot of issues I'm dealing with internally, but I have the support of Akhil, and your partner needs to be understanding and supportive. And I feel like if you've won that side of life, I think then nothing can stop you. If your partner supports you in your decisions and includes you in his conversations and in every aspect of your life, then nothing can stop you from living the life of your dreams. And when I say living the life of your dreams, I don't mean a mansion with a boat and like 3 house helps. That is not what life is about. Life is just the way you want it to be. You get to choose and design your life. I said that, right? Think about it now. Start having conversations about it now with your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Start telling them, this is how I think my life should be, and I'm going to be extremely happy here. Let him tell you what his version of life is going to be. Collaborate. Akhil was saying the other day, right? Marriage is not about compromises, it's about collaboration. So everything you do, you have to collaborate together and come to a mutual standpoint. So when you start discussing life when you're 24, 25, talk to it with your boyfriend, plant seeds in him and know that this is the life you want to live, and build your life accordingly. Don't just drop a bomb. You need people to sort of understand your way of life, and sometimes it's not easy for people like parents and grandparents coming from that time, from those generations, to understand the massive change you want to make in your life. You can't expect them to just be on board. You have to explain to them like why you want to move out. This is what's going to make you happy. Having said that, don't compromise anywhere. Even if they say no, I feel like if your partner is on board and in hand with you, he's gonna make that happen for you, right? Both of you all together. So that's what has been happening with me. Akhil has supported me through everything, and he tells me when I'm wrong. He's like, okay, this is not right, Mals, like we need to do this. So I'm open to learning, okay? So yeah. So don't wait for marriage to talk about all these things. Talk about children, talk about religion, talk about money, talk about how you will handle the finances, talk about death, talk about sex, talk about everything before you lock in and commit to your partner. It's important to know where they stand individually, where y'all are heading as a couple. A lot of us dig these under the carpet, like Akhil and I did that too, but eventually you have to talk about these things. I'm taking this dark brown shadow. Okay, this is gonna help me create like a very nice wing. I've been doing like these smoky wings lately, and I've been liking how it makes my eye look. Mascara, I'm adding the Bad Girl Bang mascara. Alright guys, so I added some lashes. These are like super natural but also like heavy towards the end, so it looks like you're wearing a falsie, but it's really pretty. I'm wearing a falsie after ages. This is the Renee lashes. I don't know what name is in 3D 20. I think this is in the style 20. And this is the Remington tweezer. It comes with a light. How cool is this? Like, who thinks of these things? So for all of you that are seeing my life on Instagram and social media, I want to tell you that I'm gonna tell you as it is, okay? Like, I'm gonna tell you that these are the issues we had, this is what I was facing, and it sometimes looks all pretty. I'm telling you where this is coming from. I read a comment where I put up my first reel. I didn't know I could create reels from existing videos. I'm a grandmom when it comes to technology, but I realized I could do that, and so I created a travel reel. And I read a comment where she's like, well, she's just showing off the money she has and the places she can go to. And I was like, no, that is not true. I definitely am showing my life off in a way that it's not like, hey, look at me, like I can travel. I definitely want to show how far I've come, and I'm able to travel, right? And I feel happy sharing that with you. And I don't want you guys to be triggered by any sort of show on Instagram. There is a real life that goes on behind cameras, and all of us deal with heartbreak, we deal with arguments, and we have difficult conversations. Our family life is the same. Like, there are things that are very, very regular and normal. So there is no picture perfect life, and that is not true. So it's just that you gotta remember to work your way towards the life you want to live. I've always said that, like, instead of being envious of someone's life, look at it in a way like, oh my god, I want to live that life, and be happy for that person. The more happy you are for someone else, and work towards your dream at the same time, you're just gonna enjoy the process of getting to where the people you look up to are. So if you're bitter and sulky and jealous of people along the way, you're not going to grow, and you're going to be in this bitter mindset that is not going to take you very far in life. So even when you reach your goal, you're going to be like not happy and satisfied, right? You're just going to always want more. But you have to remember to be happy in the process and in the journey, because it's not about the destination. You reach the destination and then boom, you want something more. You're like, okay, I got a house, but now what? You know, and that constant greed, you're never going to be content. So yeah, you know, don't get sucked up in the social media life. Just bring yourself back to reality. The minute you feel like you're comparing your reality to someone else, your life can be the way you want it to be. You get to choose how you want to live your life. So use that opportunity, use your resources the best way you possibly can. And yeah. So I'm using this creme blush by Ruby's Organics in the shade Deep Rose. Such a beautiful mauvey color. Okay, so the packaging is a little bit confusing because you can't really, if you have nails, I don't think you can dig in here, but it's a very complicated like packaging, because I don't know how to get the product out and onto my face. So that is something to look into, but I'm just going to use my finger and blend it out. That is pretty. That's really pretty. It's very soft, and I'm not mad at the smell, because I know some organic products have this very particular smell, and this does have it too. Like, you know, there's no fragrance, there's no like harmful stuff in these products, and that's why they have that peculiar smell. But I'm not mad at it. It's not too strong. It didn't lift off my foundation, which is a great thing, because I know cream sometimes can lift your foundation up if it's not compatible with the foundation, but this is not lifted or moved any part of my makeup. I'm stamping it on without dragging it, so you will not drag it, you'll stamp. Okay, the lighting has completely gone. Like, I'm only functioning with artificial lights right now. There is no sun whatsoever, so drastically changed in lighting. But you can see the blush looks pretty nice. It's very soft. It looked great on like one of those no makeup days, where even if you put it on plain skin, it's gonna look good. Let's move on to the highlighter. Now I'm taking the Ruby's Organic creme blush in Aurora. Looks a little bit yellow. It's pretty, but like I said, it's on the yellow side. I think another shade would look nicer. Also, it's a very soft effect though. It's very blurred out, very subtle. One of those inner glow feels. And I'm going to top it off with the Romare Cosmetics Beach Vibes palette. And this is how it looks. Putting this on top of the cream is gonna be beautiful because it has something to adhere to. For my lips, I have again Ruby's Organics lipstick here. This is in Cocoa, and then I have Sherry. Sherry is very similar to the blush, and this Sherry seems a little bit hard to use because it's been a while. It's a cream lipstick. So I'm just gonna put, ooh, that's pretty. So nice. It's like a lip stain. I'm gonna take this nudie lipstick as well just to see. Alright, so we're nearing the end of the video, and I spoke so much in this video because I had to catch you up on what's happening, but I'm just going to highlight my body like I always do, because there's a lot of my body that's being exposed right now. So I'm taking the same Romare Cosmetics highlighter, and I'm just going to, you see that? How alive it makes your body look. So never forget your body. So before I go, I wanted to try this. This is the Lakme Kohl Ultimate Gelato Collection. This is so delicious. They've got two more colors here, lavender and orange, and they're like candy colors, which I love. And this is the shade Raspberry. So I'm just going to put that in my waterline. Okay, so you kind of can see the color, which I'm glad. I didn't have to work too much at it. It's a very subtle pink. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching. This is the final result. I enjoyed this video so much. Literally super nostalgic for me to do Get Ready With Me, because that's just something I love and you enjoy as well. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you in my next video. Take care, and I love you. Bye!